We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Runes is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the steel. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ayy, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ayy, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We are live for another Ordinal hour. Get excited, get hyped, because you are not bullish enough. We are bullish enough. I think we're the only ones in the space that are saying 700K. We hope. I hope. If not, I'm going to be destroyed. But let's get this show going, man. I'm excited. We have so much stuff to talk about. We're going to get into it, and I think let me bring out my partner here, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up, man? Glad to be back.
Yeah, back once again, man. I think you're back like you left something. Did you leave something here?
Man, I don't know. Did I leave something? I don't know. I don't know. Well, definitely got some stuff to talk about. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
I left some alpha to talk about. But now, J25, appreciate you, sir, coming through in the clutch as always. One of the most educated people in the space, and he definitely helped us out yesterday. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, it was real fun too. Like one game that we played, bullish or bearish. I love that game. We played it with you a few times as well. Kind of go through all the Magic Eden stuff, and it's really fun. I highly recommend it. If there's a day that I can't go play that game with people, because you get their real opinions on stuff. That was I think my favorite part of the show yesterday. So
For sure.
yeah, man. So what do you want to get into first?
Well, you know what we got to get into. Come on now. We got to get into the king. The king has arrived. No, it has arrived a long time ago, actually. But let me go ahead and share the screen here. All right. Bitcoin. No, we got Bitcoin. Sitting at 69,882. So right under that 70,000 marker. We are on the hourly chart, which is what we use here. Sometimes we go back and forth, but I like to use the hourly chart because it is, I feel like that sweet spot to be able to get the market sentiment. It's not too much of a short, time frame or a longer time frame. But anyways, the one thing that I noticed right off the bat was look at the MACD down here. So starting from like 8 p.m. Central Monday, we have not really come out of like the sell pressure, right? So once we topped back up and everybody's like, "Woo, we're back," at like that 71,000 mark, we started to descend here into that MACD sell pressure on Monday, and we've been there ever since, at least on the hourly chart. And that's what I mean. Like, so even though like the darker red MACD candles are the ones that show the harder sell pressure, and the lighter ones show that it could flip back up to buy pressure. But we just been really kind of hanging down here, so I do expect it to flip pretty soon, because if you see like the length of this, and you compare it to the previous sell pressure periods, there was like a little bit of relief here in this previous one, but it doesn't really last much longer than this, right? So probably see some upside here coming up soon. I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, it looks very healthy for the Bulls here, because I think that I think we do see some really big green lines coming into next week. And I don't know if you remember, but usually once we go into a holiday, and with Friday being a holiday, a lot of the traders and stuff, they start trading Bitcoin, like a lot of, because the stock market's closed. And I think by Friday you're going to see a lot of green. I truly believe we're going to probably be over the all-time high by this weekend, and going into next week. I think next week's gonna be a huge week, because you got to remember, we're gonna get our monthly candle within the next 5 or 6 days. And I think once we get that monthly candle, I think we're gonna fly, guys. I think the few weeks in April before the halving, I think it's two weeks, and then we get it in the third week. I think that is going to be insane, especially with the CPI and stuff like that as well, with the macro stuff. Because I mean, the S&P at an all-time high again this in the pre-market. So I think we're gonna really, really fly.
Yeah. And you can see this is like traditional bull flag right here, right? Bam, bam. And then we'll see what happens here if we do creep it back down a little bit, maybe, and then form into another bull flag. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not the best TA person, but one thing I do see is, and I can catch it, is the market sentiment. And right now the market sentiment was, okay, we need a little bit of chop, right? And what we needed to do was stay a little bit down in the sell oversold, sell pressure territory for a bit, which, to be honest, if we're in sell pressure or oversold territory and we're at 69.8, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like right under 70K. So, what were we at? Like 62,000 like last week?
Yeah. I think like what's by like Sundays, like over the weekend, right? Some point. But yeah, I definitely see that this is a good thing. We're kind of hanging out under 70K, because once we get that momentum, I don't think it stops. And right now, obviously, you got GBTC selling every day. What happens Friday when they can't sell? So I'm very curious of what's going to happen going into this holiday weekend for the Americans. But
yeah, and then so we're talking about BTC. We know where it's headed, right? Once we get to the halving, there's no reason, no indicator of like what's going on in the world, unless there's a huge psyop, which I don't think is happening. I think the people that are thinking that way are overthinking this, and I get why they are, because they're like, why did we break all-time high pre-halving? Something crazy is going to happen post-halving. I think that they're overthinking that second leg or that second part, and I think that what happens is it actually gets enhanced. I mean, that post-halving actually gets enhanced. We actually fly up really strong. But the most interesting period to me is going to be the first 2 weeks of April.
yeah.
Right. Especially with Ordinals. Like, what happens there? Because there could be some consolidation and liquidation of Ordinals into BTC to get ready for runes.
I think that's exactly what happens. That's why I've been preparing for it. That's why I've been selling. I'm pretty much down to just Bitcoin right now, minus a few things that I'm holding like super long term and for airdrop reasons and stuff like that. But I'm sitting very Bitcoin. I would say liquid, but I don't think Bitcoin's considered liquid, because Bitcoin is it's not. Bitcoin is an asset that we think is the safest asset in our portfolios. I think it's safer than cash, honestly. So yeah, I'm ready for runes, and then So I was originally thinking that we were going to dip after halving, but seeing this price action that we're sitting at now, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to rip, because you got to remember too, we're going to go from 6 Bitcoin every 10 minutes to 3. That's huge. That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
The miners have to pay for their electricity and stuff like that, and they're not going to want to, because they're not going to be making enough until price doubles. Price has to double for them just to make what they're making today.
100%. And I think like in their mindsets, a lot of people will be like, well, they have to pay their bills and stuff like that. Well, I think the smart ones, and if you have a pretty large, mining outfit, then I would hope that you're pretty smart to be able to lead that, right? I think that they've been planning for this the past year. They've been saving up and being able to pay their bills during these moments to where they don't want to sell their Bitcoin right away once the halving happens, because the whole point is to be able to acquire those mined Bitcoins, and then once it goes parabolic, that's when I feel like they're going to really unload. Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're never going to be able to time the top perfectly, and they won't be able to either. But they'll probably be better at it than the average person. They will be better at it than the average person because they've done this. They've gone through cycles.
Yeah.
So I think that's how I see it.
Yeah, for sure. And most of them are publicly traded companies. One, where they can sell stock, right? Two, where they have treasuries that are probably get them between 2 or 3 years. I mean, most companies have a runway of over 12 months. Right. So, and if they don't, then, they're probably not going to make it in the public stock market, because that's one of the few things that these bigger investors look at, is how much runway you have. So let's just say they start living off their runway for the next 12 months and just don't sell any of the Bitcoin. That's probably the play for a lot of these publicly traded miners. And, on top of that, if they need the money, they can sell stock. What would you want to sell right now? Stock or Bitcoin?
Stock.
Like, obviously, right? So
I mean, obviously, like, to a point to where it's not like affecting like your image or anything, right? But like, I think that the ones that are really strong in those positions can do that. They guys, like, they've planned this out, right? Like, come on, like 100%. The ones that are successful and have, like I said, have strong Bitcoin mining warehouses and outfits that they've already planned this out, and they're ready for the next step, basically. But yeah, man, it's exciting. I know we hit on Bitcoin every day. We got to, just because it is the king that we especially in our space, right? Like, it's we're in the Bitcoin economy, and that's what we cover. So
yeah, we buy and sell with the king, right? Like, anything, anytime I buy something, I have to use Bitcoin. Whenever I sell something, I get Bitcoin back. So, and that's why we always say, like, just because your ordinal goes up against the dollar does not mean it goes up against Bitcoin. And if you're in this game to get more dollars, or if you're in this game to get more Bitcoin, we're in this game to get more Satoshis, right? More Bitcoin. So
100%. And that statement that you just made, do you ever kind of like take a second and think about that? What you said, what we do is we buy Bitcoin to get more stuff, or we sell those things to get more Bitcoin. Like, when you said that, it like just hit me. Like, of course I've thought about that. But like, it just like hit my brain again. And I was just like, dang, man, like, how lucky are we? Because a lot of people from the outside aren't thinking that way, and they should have been. And if that's the reason why we were convicted, was like, we're in an on-chain economy with Bitcoin if this becomes successful, and it did. And now, like, we're doing what people on ETH decided to do in 2020, right? And so, it might not be as advanced technologically with swaps and stuff like that, but in theory, from the base level, it's the same concept. We're in a Bitcoin economy. They were in an Ethereum economy. So be glad that you decided to get into this, because, guys, I think we haven't seen anything yet.
Well, to your point there, exactly. Like, imagine being in ETH before Uniswap. Imagine being in ETH before Aave. Imagine being in ETH before everything had these names and stuff like that. We are at a portion of the cycle where we don't even know what's going to be the best thing yet, which is amazing, because that gives you the opportunity to get in that when you see it, when you get that feeling. Because that's what happens to me. I see something, and you just know, like let's just say, like liquidity. Me and J25 were talking about yesterday. They're the only DApp on Bitcoin, right? Like, they're the only working DApp, right? So I want that liquidity coin. I want, either it's a pass or a coin, whatever. I don't care. I want it because I see that, I get that feeling when I get to that. Imagine being in Ethereum before you were able to invest in the best DApp. Right?
Yeah,
it's insane. We have so much opportunity over here, and people don't even realize that we are so early, to the point we don't even realize how early we are.
Yeah, man. And IDO season, and it's like, there's going to be a decent percentage of these IDOs that end up not panning out, but there's going to be a decent percent that do pan out. And if you happen to get in, to these, IDOs or seed levels or whatever it is, it could definitely pay off for you down the road. Not financial advice, but so, hey guys, make sure that you're putting all your questions in the chat, because we're going to get to those at the end of the Ordinal Hour for our after hour, and we will try our best to get to each and every question. So make sure you're doing that. Also, make sure you hit the like and subscribe, because we do this for you every day. We work hard for you guys to bring you guys the latest and greatest alpha and news from the Bitcoin ecosystem.
Hell yeah. And now get to my favorite part of the show. We have 117 people watching in here through YouTube and Twitter. So my favorite part of the show is roll call. I get to kind of see, basically, I'm taking attendance, guys. I'm seeing who's here. I'm seeing who's paying attention and who's here every day, because potentially you might get rewarded. I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. But we got Mr. Sheedy. He is number one. He got in here at 10 o'clock p.m. I think I posted that thing at like 9:43. So Mr. Sheedy, he was refreshing. He saw it. Shout out, Mr. Sheedy. It was amazing. That was really cool for our New Year show. He popped. I threw it in the chat, and he was one of the people that popped in. Shout out, Mr. Sheedy. And he said he already liked it too. My man, please like that. Then we got I Walk Alone, who is 2 minutes past Mr. Sheedy. He got in at 10.
Are you talking about last night?
Last night, dude.
Bro, this is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous.
Dude, I posted at 9:47. Yeah, man. And then we have Glasshopper, who was 1 minute after. People want that number one spot. They want it. They need it. Shout out Glasshopper.
I love it.
Who else we got in here? We got the Crypto Noob. Shout out Crypto Noob. And then we got our boy Danny. Shout out Danny. Danny is absolutely amazing. TKO in the building. We got a new member. Thank you. Did you say it? Vedran. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Thank you, Vedran.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Shout out, Vedran. We appreciate you, buddy. Shout out Harold Browder in the building. We got Green Man again. Who else? We got Stewie Sats in the building. And then we have our man AOD Art. Shout out Tim, always with the love. Appreciate you, buddy. And we got Carlos CLS, always supporting us here every single day. Sheaf AXL, Axel,
you're not bullish enough. Oh no, you're not bullish enough.
And we have a new. I haven't seen you here, Del Amo. I could be wrong.
Delamo.
Welcome to the live show. And we got the Saiyan in the building. We got UD Scam, who to scam, UD Scam, and then we have Udi Scam. We got Nocturnal in the building. Shout out the base community. Nocturnal is a supporter over there, and we support him. Shout out him. Shout out Raka. Raka's in the building. Shout out Token Jokin. Shout out David Heyman. E-Buck. Shout out E-Buck. He's on the road today. And then we got Paul. Shout out Paul. Shout out Jello. Shout out, who else we got? The last one, Vac Zone. What is a Game Stone? What is it for, and how do we feel about it? You know about this?
Yeah, let's answer that during the Q&A. Guys, make sure you put your questions in the Q&A. We'll or in the chats. We'll get to those at the end. But yeah, it's a good question because we'll cover that.
Yeah,
we will definitely cover that. Well, let's get into the Merlin Swap IDO. That was kind of like the hot topic the past couple days. I was out, but I was still on my phone until it died, but it seemed like it went extremely well, extremely over allocated is what I'm seeing. Could you talk a little bit about like what you saw with it and what's your perception on how it went?
Yeah, so I did the pre-sale. I put in 0.1. And when I originally put the 0.1, it was said I was getting like 150,000 coins. No, it was something crazy. I think I'm like close to like 500,000. It was like I was getting 500,000 coins. I was probably one of the first 10, 30 people to allocate. And then every time I checked, it was getting less and less coins, right? So I'm at now for my 0.1, I'm getting like 40,000 coins, 45,000 coins, something like that. And I'm just like, I was like, but I was thinking about it, right? Yeah. I'm getting peanuts. Really, the price of these coins is gonna be high, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of my Bitcoin back as well, because that's usually what happens when allocations. You get a refund for because they're not gonna jack the price up.
It's exactly what happens. Yep.
They're probably gonna keep it, fair, make sure everyone gets a piece or whatever. So I'll just get my allocation cut by just like everyone else does. And but I was thinking, yeah, it sucks that I'm not gonna get the amount of coins that I wanted, and it's over allocated, but I might be able to get the Merlin starter airdrop as well. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're doing a TGE or anything like that. I was just thinking about it. If using the launchpad and everything so far, right? Everything so far has had an airdrop. I think it's one of the things that Jeff tells them when they're getting the grant or whatever, because obviously normally chain projects get grants from the ecosystem that they're using, because you kind of want to bring people in, bring projects to kind of get up and start it and make sure they have enough funds and stuff like that. So usually get grants. I don't know if Merlin Starter did get a grant, But I'm just thinking out loud that, if they did, that's probably one of the things that Jeff said. Let's give a fair launch. Jeff's all about fair and stuff like that. So potentially, if you did this IDO, you might get the airdrop. And if not, there's potential more IDOs in the future. So if you didn't do the IDO, maybe even put a little piece to potentially maybe get the airdrop. And I don't even know if there's going to be one. It's one of those things where I was
You're just
thinking
guessing
best
based off
case
of past
scenario.
experiences.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Well, let's look and see kind of what they posted. So Merlin Starter actually posted this about Merlin Swap. So 3 hours after the Merlin Swap IDO launch, here's what's popping. Probably nothing. I feel like that has been like the Ordinals like statement of the past year.
Yeah.
Probably nothing. No. So first check mark, Pat smashed past 100 million in total raise. Wow, that's a lot. And then second one hit 100% funding in just 60 seconds. Goodness. And then
Wow.
the third one, over 10K addresses jumped into the action. So 10,000 addresses, and then rocketed past 88x oversubscribed. So yes, guys, some of you might have gotten disappointed because you felt like you were going to get a lot more. But if you had any experience in any of the DeFi launch pads from last year, most of them work this way, right? To where you kind of put your best foot forward, and then the percentage decreases because they want it to be fair. They want as many people to be able to get a little piece of the pie as they can. And as more people come in, your allocation goes down. That's why sometimes it's like, the whales do benefit a bit some from this because, even though their allocation shrinks, it's still a percentage of the pie versus everybody else. So just remember that. That's kind of that. I've seen whales strategize that way. They'll put in like freaking 5 Bitcoin or whatever, how much ever the max is that they can put in, and they'll end up getting some more, but their allocation does shrink as well, just like ours. So
so for me, the reason I put it in the 0.1 because I knew that I was going to get refunded, right? So I wasn't trying to put the whole $7,000 in, but I knew that it was going to get diluted to a certain amount and I was going to get a refund. And I knew that from the MNER launchpad as well. And same thing happened over there. So I was like, let me over allocate what I want to do. And that's why I put the 0.1. So hopefully I can get 0.05. You know what I mean? So
yep. Well, and another thing too, and I'll show this was actually directly from Merlin Swap. So they actually, so this was after that, it was actually surpassed 230 million raised.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah, the BTC pool was 200x oversubscribed, and BTC was 280x oversubscribed. This is a good sign, guys. People are actually utilizing the MBTC tokens. It actually oversubscribed higher than the regular BTC on chain. So or the regular, standard BTC. Then Voya 36x oversubscribed, and Hoo 24x oversubscribed. I love that Merlin Swap offered these two tokens as an to put up for your allocation. So really, really cool that they did that because it really shows that like the first two, Merlin Swap says, all right, it's kind of like our OG pass, like it's the gift that keeps giving, right? So that's what they're kind of doing with the Voya and Hoo and stuff. And then it says achieve full funding in 60 seconds. We already saw that. 21,000 addresses joined the frenzy. So this is the final. I guess this was the final. This is what 22 hours to go. I don't even want to see what the next update is because it's probably something nuts. You know what I mean? To where
points.
like exactly like you get one coin.
Please, sir, can I please have some more?
Have some more. Please, have some more.
But I did get the airdrop today. Did you get the airdrop today?
Probably. Is it the EV MP token or something?
Yeah. I got 16,000 of them into my one wallet. I was very happy about. So yeah,
nice.
So
yeah, I'm gonna have to check mine. I haven't had a
check
chance
all your
this morning.
wallets. If you have a Merlin wallet, check them all. You might have got multiple airdrops. I've only checked one so far, and I got 16. I'm sorry, not 16,000. 1,600. I think.
I was about to say.
Yeah,
hold on. 16,000 for an airdrop. That's a lot.
16. Let me make sure before I give false information. I got dropped on my phone here.
Yeah. So if you guys
got 16,300.
Oh wow. So if you got the airdrop and it says EVMP, is that what it says?
ESMP.
Okay, ESMP. That's what I got that wrong, but it's a synthetic version. So the way that this will work, and this is what I remember it, is that you can either hold those for 30 days and trade them out for MP tokens, or you can utilize those ESMP tokens from with some, maybe they'll have like a staking mechanism coming up. I don't know. That part I'm definitely guessing on, but I did read that like 30-day wait out for to switch those to regular NP tokens. That actually could be well worth it. You know, like, I mean, if you think about 30 days from now where the NP token is going to be, I mean, just think about like once Uniswap's token was available, I think it, like when it really started to get trading, I think it was like $3, maybe lower. And it got all the way to like $45-$50.
Yeah,
you know, so there's good opportunity in my opinion with that. But all right, so successful. Congratulations to Merlin Swap IDO, and we have a feeling what the next big IDO on Merlin's going to be, but we'll get to that down on our topic list. I want to hit on this. I want to hit on this right here and have you kind of lead us into it. Casey's X thread on Rune's thoughts. So I didn't really get too much into this. If you could kind of explain what this is about.
That was your homework, bro.
Oh, it was. That's right. You did. Hey, man. Like, I'm kidding, man. Like, of course I know a lot about it. I'm just trying to flip the script. I'm trying to flip the script here. No, but so are you familiar with it, or I can jump into it?
It was hard for me to kind of wrap my head around. It's a lot of technical stuff, and you're more of the technical guy on the show, because when I'm reading it, dude, I've read it 3 times. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I still don't freaking understand.
Hey, let's do this together, guys. Let's do this together. Okay, so I assume this is the most recent one. So it says if you want to integrate runes, you should run Ord, so the Ord wallet. And use it to validate incoming blocks and outgoing transactions. Okay, so if you want to integrate runes, then you should run the Ord so you can see the incoming blocks and outgoing transactions. Anyways, we're getting close to actually being done with the protocol and hope to release it by the end of the week. What?
Well, that's just
back to work.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So that's the protocol that's going to be integrated into the Ord wallet. Okay, gotcha.
Yes.
So I think what he's talking about is indexing, right? Because if you've been indexing the Ord wallet, right, then and you want to integrate runes into your indexer, then you're going to have to do this. And so he's just kind of giving everybody a heads up. So the runes protocol is built up in layers. Each parses unstructured data from the layer below and passes it to the layer above. Wow. That's crazy. So I wonder, okay, so as a result, writing an alternative rune protocol implementation will be fraught. The implementation is already subtle and complex, and I don't think it's a good idea to try to write one.
What the hell does that mean?
I feel like this is a warning for people that are trying to fork it.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I'm getting from it. Because he said, as a result, writing an alternative rune protocol implementation. Because I have a feeling that people aren't gonna be happy with the rules and stuff that Casey's gonna roll out here.
He does love his rules.
Is this not like a foreshadow to you? I feel like this is kind of like, hey, you guys gonna try to like fork my shit? Then it's gonna suck, because I intentionally wrote this protocol to where if you try to fork it, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. But so that's what I've got from it so far. And then underneath that, there's a couple. God dang it, Casey and his freaking.
It's long, bro.
Yeah, it says many things can cause a runestone to be a cenotaph, non-push data, opcodes in a runestone, op return, cenotaph, unrecognized even tag, cenotaph, variant too long, cenotaph, variant too short, cenotaph. Right to jail right away. Right to jail right away. It says, as a result, writing alternative rune protocol implementation will be. Oh, this is the stuff that we already went over. Yeah. So, I guess I skipped this part before. Yeah. So,
it's a lot. It was a lot for me to take in.
Definitely a lot, and it's a lot of homework too. So, just wanted you to. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll definitely, revisit this, because I feel like this is something that we're gonna have to dive into deeper and further. But from the little bit that I read, it just seemed like he's kind of letting people know, hey, this is probably not a good idea to fork this, because you might not be happy with the way I wrote it and stuff. But I could be completely wrong with that.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to dig in it further. When Yagobi
For
actually does
sure.
his goddamn homework. But I'm just kidding. All right, let's jump into something a little more fun. I mean, we love ordinals and stuff, but that stuff is boring as crap. But
Yeah. Well, this one's actually fun, and it's upcoming.
yeah,
People have been waiting for this. So
for
the
sure.
ink, project is dropping a 10K ordinal collection on March 28th. Art for art's sake. How much do you know about this?
Yeah, I've been looking at ink for a while. I've been trying to get a goddamn whitelist, but I'm not able to. I wasn't able to get one. I think the artwork is awesome. They make comic books. It kind of reminds me of a like an Americanized version of
Manga,
like yeah, something like that. So
Japanimation, yeah.
exactly. So it's really cool. The artwork is phenomenal. I love the details. Each aspect has details in it and stuff. Like the comic books looks amazing. You see the comic book? Just good scroll down a little bit. So keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Right there. I'll pop that up. Look how awesome that looks. You know,
Yeah.
it reminds me of like the Okai Avengers and stuff like that. It's so cool.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Well, it also has like Naturo kind of feel to it too, with like
yeah,
these designs and stuff. So it definitely plays into the anime world,
yeah.
which I feel like the only like in any type of like digital art or NFTs was the was it the one from the big one from Ethereum? Is it Azumi? Not
Azuki.
Azuki.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that really had success with this type of approach that
Well,
I
D
know of.
gods.
Well, they're not really the anime style.
Yeah,
They have like,
yeah.
when I think of anime style, I think of like Japanimation, you know what I
Gotcha.
mean, and stuff like that. And so this and Avengers, okay, Avengers definitely they have their place here. I just want to
Yeah,
put that out there because I'm not trying to step on you guys like that. But in terms of like mainstream success, it's really been Azumi, right? That's had
yeah,
that. And
for sure.
so, maybe Okai can partner with Inc. and do something together. That'd be really cool because the OGs, Okai is the OGs with Okai Avengers. But this
Yep.
right here, this could be like a series if they decide
Good.
to like create it into a series. My only concern is the timing right because tomorrow in ordinals, like we talked about, people are thinking about liquidating their ordinals into BTC for runes. How do you feel
Yeah.
about the timing?
Timing's rough for them. I think it's 2 weeks before the halving, 2 weeks before runes. I would go really hard into this if it was like a month ago, you know. Right now though, I'm gonna be looking for grails. There's some ones that I've been doing my homework, and I've been looking for some really cool ones. There's like obviously there's people ones, and then there's like these monsters, right? And there's not many of them, so I'm gonna hope for the people who mint them because I was not able to get a WL. They floor it, not realizing what they have. So I'll be looking on the floor an hour after the mint, and I'm going to try to pick up a few. I have a lot of Bitcoin on the sideline that I could play with, and they're probably going to be flips for me. Maybe a few days, and then flip, and then kind of honestly probably keep the grails. But if I get some off the floor really cheap, and when I say really cheap, I'm thinking like $800-900. I think that is super cheap for what these guys are going to be in the future. I mean, you could see this up at 0.6
Yeah.
eventually.
So the way they rolled this out, like their marketing for it was I feel like they did it such a good job. Like
Yeah,
I would give them
phenomenal.
probably like an A plus because when you have something special like this, you start to really tease it. I would say like a month and a half, before maybe even longer.
Yeah,
But like they teased it perfectly. They made everybody want a whitelist. That's how you do this. This is
yeah,
how you roll out something. Node Monkeys was pretty much doing that until they pissed everybody off. They ended up being successful regardless. But I feel like that's what's also going to make this project really successful. I think that the timing is not great, but I think because of the way they rolled out the marketing, this will be successful. And I think,
yeah,
like you said, picking up the grails that people drop on the floor, which will happen because it happens every single time. Like
yeah,
when we picked up the Node Monkeys on secondary, like we could have got like crazy ones, but we did. We
yeah,
got a couple of really good ones, right? And that they were for like either floor price or right next to floor price. And that actually happened with the frogs recently. I mean, we weren't there when it first launched, but like recently people were just trying to like get liquid. So they actually put some crazy ones on the close to the floor. I picked up a couple because I think that they're going to bounce back really, really nice. But yeah, so I'm excited about this. I'm definitely going to be buying secondary. And it's perfect timing to buy a secondary because everybody's like not super, super bullish on ordinals right now.
Yep.
They're more focused on runes. So that's my play. Is to pick up some of these secondary and then hold.
Yeah, like I said, I'm hoping to get these around between 900 and 15. I think that's the price that I'd be happy getting that. If I can get it under that, I'm gonna get as many as I possibly can. I'm sitting, like I said, I'm sitting on a lot of Bitcoin, and I just some of these I just really just like, like the beard ones, and like I don't know, man. Obviously, I want to get a couple of the monsters and the dragons and stuff like that, but
so this is like the dragon right here, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, right here.
that's
Look at
a
that.
sick one
Yep.
with the Chinese
know.
envelope, New Year's envelope. Oh, that's sick.
Dude, there's some really good. Look at even that one. That one's awesome
Yeah.
with the mask and stuff, dude. Some of these are freaking. And there's 10,000 collection, guys. I think this is something we have to pay attention to, and we have to get in this early because I think this is going to be. It could be like the next D Gods Azuki type of thing, So
Yeah. No, I agree, dude. And and being new, like D Gods, like was successful because it was D Gods and you had Frank and stuff, right? But like,
no one knew who
in
Frank was yet. Like, you know what I mean? So
people
Frank
knew
wasn't
them.
Frank. People knew him, but they didn't know him. Like they didn't know. Like
Well,
his name
he
wasn't
definitely
out.
got bigger. Yeah, he definitely got bigger as like, I don't know, it was ordinals that propelled him, but like, regardless, like D Gods did well when they came over here because they were branded, right? Because they did well on Solana and then
They did
Ethereum,
amazing
right?
with Solana. Yeah,
Yeah,
even before
exactly.
he came over here, I knew who Frank was before he even if
Yeah.
Orioles was existed. But I'm saying like before that, before D Guys was a big. I remember seeing D Guys
Oh, yeah,
at like 6 or
yeah.
7 Solana. You know what
Oh,
I mean? And then it went
yeah,
to like 150 Solana, like really quickly.
for sure. Like D Gods is what made Frank like his name and
Exactly.
stuff or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like my point is that like they were already a thing when they came over here. This
Well, yeah.
this will be
Is
like
Ordinal.
born from here, right?
Yeah,
So I think it could be like you said the D Gods or Azumi or
Azuki. Yeah,
Azuki.
yeah. I
Azuki.
don't know what the hell Azumi is, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Azuki of the Bitcoin Ordinals community. So we'll see. Definitely excited for that. But guys, just a reminder: put your questions in the chat. We will get to them at the end in the Ordinal After Hour. But yeah, so be ready for this launch tomorrow, and then they'll go quickly on secondary, and then degens will degen like they always do.
100%. I agree.
Yep.
We will jump
All
into
right.
next.
All right, let's go a little bit back over to Merlin. So we talked, the Merlin swap obviously has, got the IDO has gotten a lot of attention. And so we're thinking, what's the next big one, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ones that we're starting to see heat up and warm up is the Bitard token, right? The BTZD token,
Yep.
the next big IDO for Merlin chain. So I'm bullish on this because I've explained kind of my perception on how I feel like Bitard is going to build out. I believe it's going to be the treasure, the magic token. The Bitard is going to be I believe is it called the magic token? Whatever it's called over there. But the treasure ecosystem of Merlin chain, right? And so what their goal is, and we've already seen some of this, is that they're trying to reach out to these video game builders, Web3 gaming builders to say, come over to our ecosystem, establish yourself. And I think they're going to have that inner community or inner ecosystem token that they all can use, like how it's on Ethereum Arbitrum.
I didn't think about that. So you're saying Bitstars is kind of going to be like the magic token? It's kind of like the treasure DAO from Arbitrum?
I feel like it has that
Wow.
opportunity because like treasure is an ecosystem of Web3
That's
video
a
game
$1 billion
builders, right?
ecosystem.
That's what I'm trying to say. If people don't realize that lives on Arbitrum, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so this is living on Merlin chain. And so it's the Bitcoin side supported version of this is kind of what I see. We know that Bitard is a BRC20, so it's a native BRC20 token that you're able to trade over here. So I'm bullish. I think people had kind of slept on this a little bit
Yeah.
because they were thinking the miner token, mineral. They're thinking, Merlin Swap and all these things, which those are great. And then you have Bit Smiley, which is another great one. But this one,
Yeah.
to me, if they can mimic that, if they can mimic the Treasure DAO ecosystem over here, this could be huge, right?
It could be a monster. Treasure DAO is like billions of dollars just the market cap alone, and not including everything that lives on their ecosystem. I mean, they're a multi-billion dollar organization, right? So
Yeah.
that could be, dude. If it gets a quarter of what Treasure DAO is, that's monsters. Like that's
Yeah.
like getting Treasure DAO at like 2 pennies for, like, you know what I mean? Getting something like this that early. That's crazy. Now it's
Yeah,
like
and
$1.50.
and the crazy thing is that, like, so the magic token is like the main token in that ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
But they have marketplaces just for those Web3 builders, and that's exactly what could happen over here too. So it's wild. That's why I have always thought like Arbitrum was a great chain over there, is because like they have like an ecosystem within the ecosystem. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think that's what I think Bitsart has an opportunity to do over here. I don't know. Did
Wow.
you feel like my imagination is getting too crazy with this?
No, dude. I think, I mean, I didn't know that they were trying to be something like that. So that's pretty crazy. I got to look a little deeper and see what you see. But I'm bullish, dude. I'm definitely bullish on that. I mean, they're bitmap, right? So I mean, they're bitmap.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
one of the
Yeah,
few people that are actually building on bitmap. So
exactly. And I think there was someone that was talking about how like they had mentioned in the comments that they were a bit disgruntled because they felt like the Bitsar team was showing favoritism to bitmap stakers versus the Blue One stakers. But if you go to the Bitzard website, here I'll bring it up. If you go to their website, I mean, it says directly on the website. Here,
yeah,
I'll bring it up. Explore, build, roll your Bitverse on Bitmap.
yeah.
Right. So right off the bat, like they're a big supporter of Bitmap, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not shocked that Bitmap got 15% of the airdrop allocation and Blue Wand's got 10%, because I think what's going to happen, and you can see here it says Blue Wand, power,
Yeah.
duty, world building, blah blah blah, gets into that, right? Then it says bitmap, block data, terrain, resources, portals. Imagine a world where the immutable rules are defined by Bitcoin's blockchain data. Each bitmap is a street, block, cave. What exactly could happen there? So, like I said, like right off the bat, they're showing support of both of these assets, right?
Yeah.
But I think one thing that people aren't going to don't see right now, and they might be a little disgruntled because the 10% airdrop goes here, 15% goes here, is that the Blue Wand will also be utilized in many more ways, like not just with the stake and the seal, right?
Exactly.
From what we're hearing, it's different games, different staking opportunities down the road, stuff like that. Well, as the bitmap is just going to be used kind of like this like underlining
Land, like the land stuff, like you would
yeah,
get in other video
like
games.
standard. It's gonna be
Yeah.
more of like a standard, you know what I mean? And so, but I don't know. Do you think that this could be the next big IDO, or do you see another one maybe going before this one?
So I know Bit Smiley's gonna do their IDO soon. Merlin Starter could do their IDO soon. So it's hard to say. I haven't any indication from them even to do a TGE. Obviously, they're talking about on their site like percentage of this is that. So I guess they're definitely doing a TGE, but who knows? I mean, it's just hard to say. But I know it doesn't matter. Whoever gets on these launch pads, I'm gonna be participating for sure.
Yeah. Again, it kind of goes back to that golden circle, right? Like,
Yeah.
if we were just to name the ones in that golden circle right off the bat, you got Merlin Swap, you got Merlin Starter. I feel like has gotten in there now, right? They weren't in there initially.
No.
And then you have Bit Smiley and you have Bitzard and Mineral. They're kind of tweaking back and forth. Like, we'll see how that ends up playing out. The IDO definitely performed well. With the MNER token is at like $12.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that kind of was an IDO, right? Technically, but it was just launched on their own site.
yeah, exactly. They
So-
didn't use Merlin Starter for it. Did they?
No,
Okay.
Merlin Star only has one launch, and that's Merlin Swap, as of now,
Gotcha.
anyway. So.
Gotcha. All right. All right. So let's move on to the next here. This is huge news. Unisat Wallet Mobile,
Yeah.
but they cut out a huge market because the iPhone isn't available
For
yet,
now.
right?
For now, it usually takes a little while for iOS stuff, but well, I mean, I'm thinking about going out and getting a freaking J25 was actually telling me yesterday. He was like, just go get $100 freaking compute little get them really
Android.
cheap Android pad. You can get them off of Amazon. So I'm gonna get one of those, and it might be a good idea anyway to have it separate than everything else. So I'm definitely interested, and I'll probably end up getting an Android. I don't. Everything in my house is iPad right now. So
Yeah.
I know my kids love the Apple stuff, the Apple phones and iPads and stuff like that. So everything's Apple, but I might have to go out and get an Android device of some kind so I can play with this.
Yeah, for sure. And just use it for like wireless.
Just use it as the wallet. Just have that. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
$100, just make that my wallet.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I mean, that's definitely a strategy. And then you can keep like your other wallets on your iPhone and then this one
yeah,
on there. But
keep everything
have you
separate.
what have you heard about it? Have you heard like, the features are great, or what are you
I
hearing through
mean,
the
it just
grapevine?
dropped today. I didn't hear much about it. But J25 was telling me it's really about the dApps that are gonna be on it, right? So you're gonna have Uni Worlds is gonna be a dApp that's gonna be on it. You're gonna have Bitmap Explorer is gonna be a
BRC
dApp, and
420, yeah.
BRC 420 is gonna be something on there as well. So it's gonna be a lot, man. And I think they're gonna have dApps dropping a lot coming from there, and they're gonna be already kind of powered onto it with an update. And it's Unisat. You can use the Unisat marketplace and stuff when Runes drops, and they're probably gonna have something for Runes, like a Rune type marketplace dropping as well. Like it's Unisat. They've always been first. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, do you think that this will kind of unclog some of their, I guess
They're golden
the
toilets.
I don't know what their golden soul is, but their bandwidth,
Yeah,
right? Because like it seems like they've been so focused on something, and it was probably this, being
yeah,
able to launch this mobile wallet. I think they had to do that, and if they never did that, then they would completely drop out of the wallet race. But this
yep,
now kind of brings them back, kind of they. Let's be honest, they're probably still the most used, but a lot of people wanted a mobile side, right?
yep,
Now that they have that, do you feel like we're going to start to see dApps, come out from their modular system? We're going to see the swap more
yes.
advanced and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. And you got to remember too is like which wallet do you use to log into Merlin?
Unisat.
Exactly. So now you have a mobile version of the Bitcoin wallet now on that. So you can just take that wallet, go inside, go to merlinchain.io, and now you can do everything on Bitcoin side from Merlin, right from the dApp. So that was one thing that really stood out to me. It was like, oh wow, now I can do that mobile. Because I
Yeah,
obviously got MetaMask and stuff like that, but it's just I just love the Bitcoin stuff, So, but
for
yeah,
sure. For sure.
another option to do that. Yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this is really good for Unisat. I still need to see more from them
Yeah,
because I feel like there was just so much expectation, for them. But we'll see, if they end up updating their swap and then also releasing some of these dApps, because you had other stuff like, what was it, FCSP or whatever, like some other BRC20s that are supposed to have these dApps on Unisat, and we're about to see if that was just smoke and mirrors, or if it was actually, they're building stuff,
yep,
because I think that
100%.
like we got to see some stuff here in the next like 2 weeks to a month, for me to really say, okay, this is a win. It's a small win for now, for
Yeah,
sure. But we'll see.
I agree.
All right. So this is something, guys, that like we've been holding off, but we're super, super excited to announce. But Ordinal Revolution and Rune Pro have officially come out with a partnership here. And I will go ahead and share my screen with this. So, obviously we're very, very bullish about, the Rune stuff that's coming out. And one of the most bullish applications that is coming out is bullish about can't talk right now is Rune Pro. And one of the reasons is because they give a slight advantage, I feel like, in terms of like the sell side liquidity and offering that.
Yeah.
But you can see here, official partnership, Ordinal Revolution plus Rune Pro. All OG pass holders will receive a Rune Pro pass whitelist. So for Ordinal Revolution, OG pass holders, address snapshot will be taken by 3/30/2024 at 12 p.m. UTC. And if we're to do, I do UTC because it's the most internationally used. So we're talking 8 a.m. Eastern time. So and that's gonna be, what's the 30th? My dates are all
3 days from now.
So Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Just make sure that if you want, to pick one up, you do it before then, because that's when the snapshot will be taken. This is a huge partnership.
12 p.m. UTC is 8 o'clock p.m.
No, it's no, it's 8 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're probably right. Okay,
8 o'clock a.m. Yep. And so, but let me make sure though. So 3:30. You got me all messed up now. Okay, let's all.
You're probably right.
12 p.m. is 8 a.m. Eastern. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. 8 a.m. Eastern this Saturday, I think, which is the 30th. But yeah, so back to this announcement. Just if you're interested in picking up an OG pass, just make sure it's before this time, because once this hits is when it will be done. The snapshot will have been taken by this time. So just to give you guys a heads up. So this is a perfect transition into exploring Rune products. You got Rune Pro, Rune Alpha, Rune's Terminal, and Rune Pro and Rune Alpha. Those are the two exchanges that are going to be launched here in, I would say, the next couple of weeks. And then Rune's Terminal, from my understanding, it's more of like an explorer, like a kind of like a scan explorer with some analytics and stuff like that, which I think is smart, because they can kind of capture that market. So the real battle is going to be between Rune Pro and Rune Alpha. Obviously, we have an official partnership with Rune Pro, but me and Shizzy talked about this before. We're going to give a transparent, from what we know so far, perspective on both of them, because there's pros and cons for each, I would say. And we'll start off with Rune Alpha. Rune Alpha, I think, like a pro is that like it's gonna be more familiar to what you're used to seeing. They have more of a format of like how Unisat works, that type of exchange, to where you have the blocks and you have to list, and someone comes in and can sweep up your stuff or buy your stuff. And then so that I think that's a positive to where you'll be comfortable with it, because humans, it's we're creatures of habit, right? And so, but I think the con is, it's going to be the same old. There's no change with, how runes versus BRC 20s are going to be sold and bought. Like the marketplace is going to be the same old thing. Now, if you go to Rune Pro, the reason why we think that there's an edge here is because you'll have the ability to list your tokens like Unisat before, but then you also have the ability as someone that wants to buy lower than what is listed on the floor price. You can put up an offer listing. Example, let's say the floor price of the Shizzy coin is 0.01 BTC, which is a lot for a token. So I'm just using it as an example though. But you're like, man, I want to pay 0.005 because I just feel like 0.01 I want to get a better deal. But that's what the floor price is, and you can't snatch anything up. So what you could do is create your own listing, which is called sell side liquidity. And you say, okay, I want to buy Shizzy coin for 0.005, 400 of them. And if I have Shizzy coin and I need liquidity and I just want to get rid of it, to get that liquidity, I could just click on that and just sell him 400
Don't sell it.
sell him 400 coins of Shizzy, because I think it's going to go down only.
Whoa, whoa.
For 0.005, I can do that, right? So what does that create? That creates a marketplace of more liquidity flow back and forth, right? You don't have to wait as long. Now, as a seller, I can actually go in there, decide I want to list my own tokens, or hey, I need liquidity now. I'm just going to take some of these offers. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a really good idea by those guys over there. Obviously they're from the Bitcoin startup lab, right? So they're definitely thinking ahead of everyone else, and you know, with being in that, they're really thinking outside the box. And I think that's with having, you know, that time together and the time in to ask questions. And what do you guys think about this? I mean, because that's the thing. We know that they've interviewed multiple people around the space to kind of get their opinion on what you guys think and stuff like that. And that was one of the things where they got from that, right? So it's not just something that they thought up; it's something that people asked for. And you know, that's the thing too, is like I would love that. I would love to go on and see what people are offering cheaply. You know, maybe I you know, I can go in and I can do something like that as well. It's down the line, or you know, whatever. It's more options, more things to do. Whether it's going to be great or not, like if it's going to be utilized or not, then we'll see. People are going to vote with their hands whether they use Rune Alpha, use Runes Pro. But that's something that, you know, other exchanges could add eventually as well. It's, you know, it's very monkey see, monkey do, but Runes Pro just seems to be ahead of the game with this.
Yeah, 100%. And you know how it is over here. Typically, first is first, and you know that gets you ahead. But another cool thing is you guys are going to be able to test that out. First of all, you can go test the site now, and you can earn points. You can earn points, and we don't know what those points are going to turn into exactly, because you know we don't make those decisions or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's going to be some sort of give back with that. And if you go to what's the website? Do they have it listed right there?
They don't have it listed here, no.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll put the test site for you guys to kind of utilize the site and earn these points in the description of this video.
Yeah.
We'll grab it, and then you guys can mess around with it. It's really, really cool. I will say it does take you a second to get used to it, but it's because, like I said, we're human, we're creatures of habit. You're going to be used to the blocks of like Unisat. But once you get used to this, you're going to realize, oh my gosh, there's so much benefit to it, to be able to, like I said, have that sell side liquidity as well as the buy side liquidity. And I think it's going to do very, very well. And there might be just two different, you know, marketplaces that do well in the beginning. We don't know. Can't tell the future there. But yeah, so that's really cool. And another thing real quick about this, kind of staying on this topic here, is to celebrate this partnership as well. If you go to the Ordinal Revolution Twitter account, it's at ORDREVOLUTION, or at Ord Revolution. You can go and just follow these instructions here to win an OG pass, an Ordinal Revolution OG pass. You just follow Rune Pro and Ord Revolution, retweet the tweet, and tag 2 others in the comments below, and then you qualify for a chance to win a Ordinal Revolution OG pass. So we definitely want to give back to the community, like we always do.
The pass not only gets you the OG pass, but you also get a whitelist for the other pass as well. So I mean, that's huge. You potentially two passes.
Yeah, and the whitelist is, I mean, this is a free mint, guys. So the Rune Pro pass is, there's only 2,000 of them, right? So our partnership is definitely strong to where they were able to allocate that to each Ordinal Revolution holder, and all you do is pay the fees, and you're going to get this really, really cool looking, you know, green alien looking pass from Rune Pro. So that's super excited with that, about that.
For sure. I agree, man.
Wow, man, we didn't even get to everything today. But it's all good. It's all
I
good.
thought we hit everything.
Well, there was one, but we can save it to tomorrow, because I think it's a good one.
Sounds good.
And it's not like time sensitive or anything, so we can definitely push that one to tomorrow. But yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah. But you know, great show as always, guys. We're gonna pop over to the after hours and get these questions, you know, answered the best we can. So continue to put your questions in the chat, and we will get to those.
All right.
So I see here's the first one here. And this is from I Walk Alone. And he says, what's the difference in all the rune miners? Are they all mining the same thing? I have the Genesis runes miners.
Yeah, they're all obviously they're all doing something else. Like the R6 are mining, R6 tokens. I don't even know what other miners that are actually doing stuff besides that, right? They're not
Rune
actually
Guardian.
mining. Rune Guardian. Well, Rune Guardians, they're just adding up. You
Okay.
sell it, you're selling it with the tokens. You're not actually mining them. They're just all getting the
But
same amount allocation.
is R6 actually mining though?
Yeah, well, I can go see them. I can go see my tokens, like
Yeah.
for
So
each
is that
wallet.
algorithm? Is an algorithm that they use?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, but that's like the only one that's doing that. I don't know if these Genesis rune miners are doing anything. So I think you're just going to get whatever each one's going to be is worth a certain amount of runes. I think the R6 is the only one that's really doing that. I believe that's actually doing the mining. Each wallet is to activate it and then you start earning. I think the other one's doing it as well, the Little Vikings, because I think you have to send it. That might be doing something as well, but there's no dashboard like you. I think it's like Ordinals or ord.com, something like that. You can actually go see. Remember what that was? Ordi scan. You can actually go see the amount of tokens that you earned. And I think
For which
with
one?
R6.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't think you can do that with anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, R6 definitely had a unique approach to it, and I think that was like definitely the attraction. It's because it was innovative at the time. It was
Yeah.
really hot. Everybody loved it, and but to answer your question, I walk alone. All these rune miners, they're basically their promise to everybody is that you will get a certain amount of tokens if you hold these ordinals once they launch their token.
Yeah.
That's what the idea is behind it. So yes, they're in a way, I guess you could say they're all mining, but from an algorithmic perspective, I think RSIC is the only one that's doing that. So good question though. All right, UD scam comes up with the next one here. It says, have you heard of fluid tokens? They're creating a lending protocol like Liquidium, it seems, for layer 1 Bitcoin. Well, if they're creating a lending protocol like Liquidium for Bitcoin layer 1, then they're copying them exactly, because that's what Liquidium is. It's a lending protocol for Bitcoin layer 1. I heard a little bit about these guys. I don't know a ton about them. They were in my DMs. We were talking back and forth a little bit. I think they're gonna jump on Spaces. I don't know if it's gonna be this Spaces today. By the way, we do have a Spaces today. It's is it 3 p.m. Eastern?
Well, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 your time.
Central. Okay.
Central. Yep.
So 4 p.m. Eastern, Spaces for builders. So make sure you catch that on Twitter or X. But yeah, so this is the fluid tokens on Bitcoin. It says when selling your ordinals is not an option, the first permissionless lending DApp for ordinals, BRC20 tokens and runes from the team at Fluid Tokens. So it says fluid tokens on Bitcoin. So I guess they already do this. I guess for other blockchains possibly. And it looks like they're trying to come over to Bitcoin. So the only thing that I would say that really could separate them from Liquidium would be if it was a centralized type of protocol, right? So Liquidium, and it says permissionless, so I don't think it would be. And it doesn't necessarily have to be centralized, but if it's the project's capital, liquidity that they're putting up, that would set them different from Liquidium, because Liquidium does peer-to-peer. They just facilitate it, right? They facilitate they broker the deals between
And
each
earn a
side,
fee.
and they earn a fee off of that, while fluid tokens possibly, I don't know, I'm gonna have to dive deeper, but that would be the only, and I hope that's the case, because you don't want the exact same thing like that, in my opinion.
Well, unless you can do something where you borrow Bitcoin, right, or something like that, or I don't know, but I don't. It's if it is what it is. I mean, it's always competition's always good, so fees don't get too high. So let's just say Liquidium wants to jump their fees up, and this comes in and kind of steals some of that. They have to drop them back down, which is good for the user. Competition is always good for the user. So
Yeah, I agree. Competition is good, but from me, like I want to see a little something different. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. It does definitely push the other side, and
Yeah,
that's needed in marketplaces, right? So,
for sure.
all right, David Heyman, what's your guys' opinion on how MP will perform?
Yeah, I think MP is going to be one of the top tokens in the cycle. I think that getting it now and then waiting 6 to 12 months or even 15 months down the line could be very significant. And not financial advice at all. That's something that I'm planning on doing. I was actually looking into buying some airdropped ES tokens off the floor here, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I'm very bullish on MP, very bullish on anything Merlin right now. I think it's getting in Merlin now is just it's the play. It's the obvious play for me.
Yeah. So are you able to buy the ES MP off a secondary?
Yeah, I was actually trying to do that. Yep, you're able to. Yep.
Wow. I did not realize. So it must just be like kind of. Let's
Well,
see.
let me just try it. I know you can pop that in there, but I
Yeah.
haven't actually pulled the trigger on doing it yet. So, but yeah, I
Wow.
think you can.
That's crazy.
You do need the if you guys are interested in doing that, you can go to Merlin Swap's Twitter. They have the contract in
You
there.
have
You
to
can grab
add
the
it.
contract address. Yeah, it's not just like it's not whitelisted or anything. They haven't whitelisted their own token, but it is there. So
Yep. 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 All right, guys. So, yeah, for me, I think the MP token is gonna do very well. I think we'll see something similar to like, uh, you know, Uniswap's type of growth from floor price or from the starting price up to like where, the same type of ratio. So,
yeah,
being that big, and there's a lot of people's hands in the pot. I don't see it being like a freaking crazy 2000x, but a solid like lot of X's is
yeah.
what I see.
I mean, you see here, I got about $32. I'm putting up 40046, which is my max. But if I take this down to 002, just make sure I have enough gas. See how many I can get here. You can see it's ESMP. I had to add that from the site. I'm getting 99 tokens. Please confirm the price impact. It's over
Because it's
10%,
yeah, it's
100%. Wow. There's probably no
yeah,
liquidity for it.
exactly. There's probably not much liquidity yet,
Yeah.
and so might
You
want to
can,
slow.
but you're paying double the price. So, but yeah,
Exactly. But yeah, I think we're both bullish on the MP token, of course, just because Merlin Swap is the main swap there, and I think Merlin Swap has that opportunity to, be one of the branded swaps for Bitcoin side chains and layer twos. So,
for sure. Yep, yep.
all right, Vaxzone. What is GameStone? What is it for, and how do you feel about him? I didn't
Him.
know. I didn't know GameStone had a gender, but no. So let's answer the first question here. What is GameStone? GameStone is a child inscription ordinal collection that was created, I believe, by the BTC machines, and it's based off of the runestone. Yeah, you can.
Good. You can show yours. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, you can see. So this actually started, I think, higher than the price it is now, and it dumped pretty hard. Just because I think the hype of it being a child inscription based off of runestones, like
Yeah.
started it off high, and then there was a lot of people that were, not so happy because they bought secondary and it dumped. And right
Yeah.
now the floor price is what is
Zero zero
that?
zero three.
So $20.76.
Yeah.
But guys, like you can't be upset about something like that because like, just because your expectations weren't met and you bought on secondary and it might have started off at $200, $300, and now it's at 20. This is, I mean, this is how the market works sometimes,
Yeah.
it's like Runestones had so much hype. And so, they piggybacked off of that. And I don't necessarily blame them for doing that. But you can't expect for every move to be a win is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Yeah, I honestly don't really know much about it. I know it's from the BTC Machines guys. You know, it is what it is. I got to look more into it before I can give my opinion. So
Gotcha. All right. Anything sticking out to you that
Questions
you want
wise?
to? Yeah. Or are you cool if I just keep running through these?
Yeah, keep running through. Go down.
All right. So we kind of hit on this earlier, Nocturnal.
Yeah.
Ink drop tomorrow. You buying the floor if you didn't get a whitelist, and we both said yes. Just because we're bullish on how they marketed it and everything, and so what any other words other than what we talked about earlier on it? I think
No,
we
I'm
pretty
I'm
much said
looking
what.
for between 9 and 1500. 1500 would be kind of like my waiting period, and 900 would be my pull trigger. Anything less than that, I'm gonna grab multiple. So I'm hoping it hits my number, but if not, and I got to pivot for 2000, I might pass on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends on like what that floor price will be.
Yeah,
Obviously you can be bullish on something and pass on it because it's just out of range.
yeah,
Um, it was actually kind of hard at first for me to decide on the node monkeys if that was something I was going to pull the trigger on. And then once it clicked in my brain, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to take the risk. If I risk it, I know for a fact that obviously no one's 100% on anything all the time, but
yeah,
I was pretty damn sure that I could at least get what I put into it back,
yeah,
so you got to make that kind of decision on where your risk tolerance is, I think, on that floor price, and then make
yeah,
that decision. We both have different ones for that, and but we'll make our decisions based on what we feel comfortable with. And I think everybody could take that as a good rule of thumb, not financial
for
advice.
sure.
You want to answer this one because you kind of hit on this one.
Yeah, so I got 16,000 in one wallet, 4,000 in a bunch of other wallets, 3,500 in some wallets. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold. I'm gonna. So do you know if you have to like do anything with the tokens, or you just hold them to become MP tokens?
So let's read the question real quick. So it says, "How do you receive the ESMP airdrop?"
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so
You just receive it. I mean, it's
yeah.
in your wallet.
Well, isn't there was certain things that like being in the seal, I think, or something, right? There were certain things that you got trading the actual Merlin swap
Yeah. Oh, I get the question
activity.
now.
Yeah,
Okay.
activity.
I thought you meant like how do you get them? They just
No, no, no,
appear.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Okay,
She's
I got
asking
you. I
like
got you.
what qualifies you.
Yeah, so adding liquidity to the Merlin swap, trading on the Merlin swap, really doing anything with the Merlin swap got you a few tokens. I think you had to do either a certain amount of swaps or a certain amount of like volume. I think I did the volume part. I because I didn't do tons of swaps, but I did do heavy volume. I think I traded like between $5,000 and $10,000 a few times for some trades for Hoo and stuff like that. So I would check those wallets that you guys did with if you guys did some Hoo trading back when it was cheap and made some money on it. So I think those people were actually probably made out the best.
Yeah. And I need to check my wallets because that's getting me excited because I know I did some
Yeah.
volume trading too. So yeah, so that's how you qualified for it, Courtney. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So we got
Sorry, I wasn't clear on that. At the beginning, I was
and
like,
real
he just showed up. But yeah.
and real so from my understanding to your question, Shizzy, you were saying, what do you have to do? I believe you just have to hold it for 30 days. And at that point, it turns into like you probably have to take a step and then, transfer it into claiming the MP token or
Okay.
whatever.
I got you.
So,
Sounds good.
yep. All right. Yo Street. Do you think it's worth adding to the Merlin Hoo and Voya pool or just wait for token in launch?
Not
I'm
really
not sure what you
sure.
mean by token in launch, but Hoo and Voya pool, I think that could be an okay pool. But both have, they have like commitment, I feel like, from the Merlin swap and Merlin chain, but at the same time, they're both meme tokens. So I think anytime you're trying to create liquidity pools for two meme tokens, that's kind of tough, right?
Yeah,
Because you're like any day it could whoop,
for
just
sure.
like no one cares about it. So for me personally, I wouldn't do that because I want at least like one like strong stable token in that liquidity pool.
Yeah,
But if your risk tolerance is higher, both could moon at the same time, and you could really win out with that. So
for sure. For sure.
all right, next question. Yeah, sure. Is there any way we can communicate with Jeff to remove Particle Network from the Merlin Chain bridge from BTC wallet to Merlin Chain and let us use direct MetaMask wallet for that?
You can.
So, well, no, I think, well, okay, so you can use the MetaMask wallet to bridge in wrapped BTC from the EVM side of things,
Yeah.
but from the Bitcoin side, you can't get rid of Particle Network because Particle Network is the account abstraction technology used to be able to do all these things with Bitcoin wallets on Merlin. I know it's frustrating, Asher, because things get clogged up and stuff, but I can't. I want to say I can promise you, but I would say this: I'm very confident myself
Yeah.
that like those issues will be resolved. We're just kind of going through the bumps and bruises of new innovation because this is new. This is the first time that a chain has done this. You know, what are your thoughts, Shizzy?
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Particle Network. I just again, it's not Particle Network though. That's not the problem. The problem
ZK
Polygon.
EVM
It's,
upgrade. Yeah,
yeah, so what happened was the Polygon had to wait for Ethereum to do their upgrade because their ZK zero knowledge proofs. So now they can do their upgrade, and there were some changes done to Ethereum. Polygon is now working on it, get their stuff done. Once the Polygon upgrade is in, and then I think it's supposed to go live this week. But obviously you want to make sure it's right. Before they put something in, they don't want to mess up. I mean, like Polygons are a running chain. They can't afford any mistakes. So once that upgrade is in, then Particle Network will run really well. Because it's not Particle Network. The problem is Polygon. So, but
yeah.
yeah, I think it's all in due time. We gotta have lots of patience. Merlin's a baby. It's an infant. We're gonna have these issues. Let's use what you can. Use MetaMask. MetaMask works great. You can do everything you can do on MetaMask. You can do on on the Particle Network side. So just use MetaMask for now until the other side's ready. And you can transfer your Bitcoin from your Unisat to your MetaMask. It's pretty easy.
Or
So
your smart account, the
yeah,
Particle Network wallet to your MetaMask account, and you can utilize it and do all the activity with your
yeah,
MetaMask account. And I think that's a good point. Merlin is a baby right now, and so I think, yeah, sure, I'm on that same page with you,
yeah.
brother, in terms of being frustrated with it. I think there's a couple other community members as well. But at the same time, we got to understand like how lucky we are to be this early to be into something, because once that goes smooth and quick and fast, imagine the pickup of activity that's going to
Yeah.
come in from the BTC side, right? Like the pickup of activity is going to just jump, in my opinion, once the smart account wallets and account abstraction wallets
Yeah.
are just like as quick or if not quicker than the MetaMask side. So,
And the thing is too is like I don't use the Unisat particle network thing. It's too new. I'm not a person who wants to take that risk. I just use the MetaMask.
yeah,
I've been a user of MetaMask for the longest time. Obviously, when I did my seal on the
that's
Unisat
only
wallet and
yeah.
stuff like that, but I don't touch that. Like that's in there. That's I don't. There's nothing in there besides staking, which I stake my bit smileys, I stake my minerals and stuff like that. Besides that, I do everything on a MetaMask, so I don't touch my seal wallet. 'Cause I don't want my seal wallet to ever get really touch the internet besides sites that I'm 100% aware of that are going to be good, like Mineral, like BitSmiley, and like uh, Merlin Swap, right? Anything else, I'm not touching. And I think I
Yeah.
did Merlin Starter as well, but they're all projects that have been greenlighted by the Merlin team, right? So don't use that wallet. Try to use the MetaMask. It's not worth the risk of losing your assets because there's some type of code that's not working correctly. Use MetaMask
Well,
for now.
I wouldn't. So I would probably word it a little bit different, because I would like with the way that Jeff comes out and says is that like all these funds are seifu. So like don't worry about that on that side, like about losing your funds, because I'll tell you this, like there's been times where I use the Unisat wallet probably more just because I want to feel comfortable using it on Merlin. But there's been a time where like I'll try to send my Bitcoin from the Unisat account abstraction wallet to my MetaMask because I just want to do stuff. And because the Bitcoin side is clogged down, it took like a couple hours for that to go over,
Yeah.
right? So I wouldn't be worried in that sense, like that you're going to lose your stuff or anything like that. But if you want activity and you want seamlessness, probably take Shizzy's route in that, like where you're going to use the MetaMask wallet for it to be
No,
seamless and
I
stuff.
think you should definitely be cautious using the particle network side of it because it's not proven out. It's only been out for a couple months, right?
Yeah,
I'm 100% I'm 100% safe and everything using the MetaMask side of it because it's proven. It's years of people using it. Particle network, not so much. So yeah, I would highly bring caution on anything new. Yeah, I think Jeff and everyone's like say it's very safe, but the upgrade's not in yet. You know what I mean? Like who
Yeah,
knows
yeah, yeah.
what happens with this upgrade? So just be
Yeah.
cautious. Don't
So
make a lot of don't make a lot of decisions on that side until it's proven. Let someone else lose their money. I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it's not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You definitely want to be careful. I think that we preach that all the time. You know, be safe, be careful. You're your own adult. You know, we're not
Yeah.
kids, we're not babies. But in the sense of like, you know, safety about losing these Bitcoin layer 1 assets and stuff like that, unless you're signing a contract the same way you would lose it on the MetaMask side, like what I'm hearing from their team and stuff is that like that's safe. You're okay with that. The problem is congestion and speed.
Yeah.
And because of that, like it gets clogged up and it's scary at times. I agree with that. It's scary, you know, but at the same time, every time that, you know, and it might be different, you know, because like the everyday person doesn't have the same, you know, reach as other people, you know, to be able to get to support. And I think Yasher talked about particle network support has been hard, and I agree right there. But let's just be a little bit patient here. Let's get through this upgrade and then let that, you know, settle in, and we'll see how things have gone. From up until now, I haven't heard anybody lose anything from the Bitcoin side at all.
I haven't either, but it's still not worth the risk. Just use the MetaMask side. It's the same thing. It's better. Just use it over there until it's proven to be just as good as the MetaMask side. That's all I'm saying. Just use what's proven. Don't take unnecessary risks. We're in crypto.
Yeah.
There's no
the only
reason to.
problem with that is that like it's you know, kind of a nuisance to bridge over, you know, your Bitcoin to a centralized exchange or no, well, you're going through centralized exchange, then to MetaMask, and then back. You know what I'm saying? So you're taking an extra step. You're taking an extra step. If you have yeah,
and then you
I'm
can
talking
in
about
that way.
If you have Bitcoin in your Unisat wallet,
yeah,
what do you have to do to get it out to MetaMask?
You can bridge that over to BNB. The BNB has a thing over there, and then you can just go in that way.
Wait. You can bridge directly from Bitcoin to BNB?
Yes.
With your Unisat wallet?
No, you have to send it. You have to send
That's
it.
what.
Yeah,
see,
okay.
man.
Okay.
I hate to do
I'm
this.
just saying.
I hate to make you look wrong, bro. I hate it because, like, you know, you're my partner. I don't want
just
to
use
look
MetaMask.
wrong. No,
just use MetaMask. Stop using the particle network. It's clogged up. You're fucking clogging it up. Just use MetaMask. That's all. That's it.
I think that is a good point, though. Like when it does get clogged, and there's a big
that was my entire point.
Yeah, when there's when there's a big mint, I think you're doing everybody a favor to not use the Unisat side.
And that was my entire point. I wasn't trying to tell people to be caught. Like I was just saying, just use MetaMask. Just use the goddamn MetaMask.
Speaking of, Courtney's asking if she should be concerned with not having MBTC in her wallet yet.
You do have it in your wallet. You have to claim it. You have to go to Merlin Swap. You'll see a thing on the bottom. You have to physically claim it. You can hit the claim button, and if you still don't see it, you need the Bitcoin address. You can add that, so it's in there, but you need to add that address to see it
to your wallet.
Just like any other thing.
Yep. And you can do that in the smart contract or the smart account if you're using the Unisat side, or you can do it on the MetaMask side. But it's in there. Shizzy got his. I know that.
Yeah.
Saying,
hold on, I'll show it real quickly.
Okay.
Hold on, let me get rid of this thing down here. Pop that down real quick. Yeah, okay. So claim your M tokens right here. And then if you're looking for the address, you can after you claim it, it takes about a day or two. And then you can kind of go up here, and then you can go to like I think it's Merlin Swap, right?
Yep.
Merlin Swap. And if you guys are looking for an address, this is the way that I usually find it. I'll go to pools, right? And then I'll find the token that I'm looking for, which is MBTC. I can kind of click on that. Why ain't that working?
I think you got to go back to
it's analytics, yeah. And then you find the token that you're looking for, which is MBTC, wrap BTC, and then you can view contract, and then you just change the 2 to a 1.
Well, you got to go to actual MBTC. I think you did the liquidity pool contract. So just go back out of there and then just click on MBTC if it lets you. If it doesn't, then the best thing to do. Actually, the best thing to do is to go here. Go to scan.merlinchain.io. Type in scan.merlinchain.io. Scan Merlin chain. It's right there already. You already have it. All right, hit enter, and then just type in MBTC. It might be hyphen for the search.
MBTC.
Yeah. You might have to do hyphen. So, oh, there it is. There it is right there.
Yep. So you just copy this, and then you can add that right to your wallet. Yep. What's Surf testnet? MBTC.
Uh-oh. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there.
Interesting.
Too much alpha. Yeah. We're going to save that for the membership. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Surf. If you guys don't know Surf, look up Surf. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Okay. Sayan 228. Do you think Merlin will change the way they do their IDOs? I do not think that Merlin Starter will change the way they do their IDOs. No. I think it's the most efficient way to do it. There's no other way to really do it fairly. I get like the whales can still edge out people, but there's no other way to do it unless you just give everybody the equal amount of allocation, and that doesn't really make sense. I just don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't understand the question. Merlin's not doing the IDOs. It's Merlin Starter.
Yeah, I think that's what his question is, though. Like, do you think there'll be a different way to do IDOs other than like the percentage? You know how the allocation draws back once more people join the pie?
Well, how else would you do it?
That's what I'm saying. There's no other fair way to do it, in my opinion.
Unless you whitelist addresses and let them, but then that's not fair. So, but yeah.
All right, I hope that answers your question, Sam. I think it's going to stick around, and I think that's probably the most fair way to do it.
Yep.
Stewie Sats, can we trade our airdropped ESMP tokens now? And I think
but there's no liquidity. You
okay.
can, but there's no liquidity. You're not going to get anything for them right now. I think you can provide liquidity if you wanted to, but and you can sell it like that way, so because then if the price goes up or whatever, but I don't know. But we'll see.
Yep. And we're coming close to that end of that after hours, but we got a couple more questions here. We'll take this one from Sean Andrews Crypto. How long after claiming M tokens do you receive it? Been a while. Again, we just answered kind of similar.
Probably just need to add the address. You probably have it, and you probably just, like the same thing happened to me. I was like, where the hell's my M token? And then I added the address and it showed up. So just go like we scan.merlinchain.io, type in MBTC at the top, get the address, add it to your wallet, and then you'll have it. So.
Yep. All right, eSpirit44, between the Merlin Swap token and the RuFi token, which one will perform better? What's your thoughts on this? I have 0.2 BTC on the sideline, looking to buy it on secondary at launch. Oh, this one's kind of tough. I mean, long term, like. I think long term, I would place my bets on, of course, like the Merlin Swap token, because Uniswap has still survived the last cycle. It's bear. And I think if Merlin Swap does what we think it will do, it will survive this upcoming bear and be around for a while. But it's a tough question. Short term, RuFi could explode because it's the first Runes token.
Yeah, well, RuFi is just a meme, though, right? So to me, the MP token is going to do way better. I think RuFi does have its time in the sun, and it does do really well, but then eventually falls off, just like I think the rest of the meme tokens are. I'm not a meme guy. I would stick that entire 0.2 into Merlin Swap rather than put any in RuFi. I will still do some of the RuFi, but I'm just gonna. I honestly don't know if I'm going to do RuFi. That's still a decision that I'm making, but I need as much of this Merlin Swap token as possible. So,
yeah. Same with me, man. Super bullish on that.
What about RuFi? Are you bullish on RuFi?
I am bullish on RuFi. It's gonna do like a Voya type situation. I feel like it's the first runes. But so short term play, I would say RuFi probably will explode higher, but it's tricky right now because like the market cap for RuFi right now is like $40 million, and I feel like the reason why is because the mint went like not great because of the congestion. I think the Merlin Swap IDO was happening almost at the same time and all this crazy stuff. And so like the circulating supply, I think, is much shorter or smaller than it actually will be right now in terms of trading. So I would wait right now personally on RuFi until all the supply is minted out. And then we can see a true market cap of like where it will start, because it's going to peel back from where it is right now. Like people that are trading on secondary are like so impatient and degenerate that like they got it up to $40 million already.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't touching that right now.
No, not at all. Secondary
You
is
know what I mean?
not a place to buy right now, especially we're just kind of waiting for the prices to go down, and then start buying the RuFi token.
So actually that kind of changed my perception a little bit on it because like actually like when you peel back like a market cap like from 40 million to where it will
I
be
know.
once the mint's kind of out, I think that like it might actually kind of stunt the growth of it. And so that's unfortunate because it's at 28.5 million right now. I don't
I
know
think it gets
what
closer down to like 9 or 10.
that's when I would probably buy back in if
Yeah.
not lower, so
Well, I mean, I
that
wouldn't buy it at all. I would honestly just mint it. It's
mint,
still way cheaper to mint it right now than it is to buy, right?
yeah, no, it
There's no
is.
way the mint price is looking at even with the gas being high, looking at $40 million or $25 million market cap, right?
Yeah, no,
I think
no,
you can get like a crap ton for $4. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's tough, dude. It's really really tough because,
yeah,
I mean, you're talking about a $1 trillion total supply, right?
yeah,
As of right now, there's 105 billion that's out in circulation that have been minted.
yeah.
Okay, so with the prices where it is right now, uh, it's at with 105 billion out, it's at a $28.5 million market cap. So there's going to be some like after the mint, there'll be 750 billion out in circulation, and then 250 billion will be airdropped for like people community. So yeah, I mean, this is one that like I definitely feel like for me, I'm glad that I appreciate this question because it made me
Yeah.
definitely like reassess this whole situation. You know,
Well,
definitely
the
was
question's
really
easy for me.
yeah.
It's Merlin
Well,
Swap.
I picked Merlin Swap as well. I'm talking about just like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
gonna
I'm just
approach RuFi,
roof
because
high.
like
Yeah.
yeah, the way I'm gonna approach it now is gonna be completely different. Which I'm still probably gonna dabble in it if it pulls back as far as I want it to pull back. If not, I probably won't
100%.
ever get into it. So all
Yeah.
right,
I
all
saw
right.
something
Here,
here I want to address real quick.
okay.
Ordinal Rev covering Merlin chain gives me the vibes Black Runner. Like, F off, dude. If you think that, just F off. We're trying to give you guys the latest news and the ecosystem and stuff like that. If you think that we're kind of like what Black Runner and Nats, Black Runner created Nats, right? They are the Nats guys. Like, F off if you think this. Please don't watch. I don't give a shit. Like, just go away. But yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a troll that came
Yeah.
in. There's two questions right before that talking about does the fees go to BTC miners or Polygon is definitely a stupid troll question.
Yeah.
So, anyways, uh, definitely supports all Bitcoin layer one assets. I'll tell you that, like
Yeah.
90% of them. Okay, so there was one last thing, and I just want to get to this because, like, one thing we will try our best to do is answer the questions of our members. And there was two. One was from Sayan, and he says these are the last two questions, guys. He says when live for members, so we're trying to figure that out. Saying don't worry, we're trying to figure that out.
Well,
And he says
we're
let's
having an issue
organize.
because of
He says
StreamYard.
let's organize.
So,
He says let's organize a live poker game. That'd be super fun.
well, how many people can we get in one poker game?
Like probably 4 billion. I'm just kidding. No,
How would that
maybe we
even
can.
work?
I'm just joking. Like, but maybe like
Uh,
we could set something up like tournament style or something, just for
yeah,
our
a tournament
community.
style could be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But the problem with the lives, the live member stuff is because StreamYard doesn't allow us to do it, and we got to do it through another service provider. So we got to figure that out.
yep. All right. So then here, Vax Zone. No, okay, sorry. So we'll answer this one real quick. How do you see Merlin chain in 2 years?
Yeah.
Probably how we see it, how we saw like Polygon, 2 years ago, the last 2 years of last cycle is this. That's kind of how I see it. I think it's going to be around for a while. It's going to be a long time. We'll see though. Like we're not
Yeah.
Nostradamus, which I don't even know if he predicted the future exactly, but like that's not who we are. So, but good
I
question.
actually see it as like a top 5 chain, only because the way the way I see it, looking in the China chat rooms, China is calling this their chain. they're saying like we finally have something that that's created for China by China type of thing. And I don't know, obviously it's branched out, it's all over stuff like that, but China's really gravitized to this, right?
Gravitating
towards this, right? Sorry, my throat's all messed up. I can't even talk. But gravitating to this, and if they do that, because like the reason I was big on Astar was because Japan was really kind of like pushing as like their chain, their Ethereum, and it looks like China's kind of pushing to this. And if you're in Ordinals, you know that China runs Ordinals, right?
China number one.
China number one in Ordinals. It really is. So if China says that this is their chain, and this is the chain of their choice, and it's run by Polygon and stuff like that, then I don't know. It could be a top 5.
Yep. And then we got Neomeister here. Do you think Voya and Huhu will dump after this MP IDO ends? I don't think Huhu will dump that much. I don't think Voya necessarily will. Huhu actually picked up a good amount of momentum after the MPTC was released. Got up to like 30-something million. Let's see where it's at right now. Sitting at 27.8 million. So I don't know. We might see a pullback to like 25 to 22. Who knows? But I feel like Huhu's on another trajectory now. Like it is like the meme token of Merlin. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then guys, I think that's gonna go ahead and wrap us up. Last thing, TKO, we do have a Discord channel for OG members, so make sure that you're in our Discord, and we'll get you in there. Just message in the main chat and we'll get you in there. Okay, but that looks like that wraps it up. Any last words or anything for you?
That's good for me, man. It's out of here. My throat's all freaking messed up, but yeah.
Guys, make sure you visit ordinalrevolution.com. We have updated news articles about the Bitcoin ecosystem and Ordinals ecosystem. If you're going to go to Nashville, Bitcoin Nashville Conference, we have discounted tickets there. Make sure that you join or click on the banner there. You can get 21% off of your total tickets. And then also, last thing, our store link there. You can get all types of Ordinals gear. Make sure you represent your Ordinal stuff and your Bitcoin ecosystem stuff too when you go to the conventions. But if you want to join our membership, it's $10 a month. I believe it's well worth it. You get to peek inside the brains of Shizzy and Yagobi, and you get some early access to alpha stuff. But I think that's it, man.
I think it's the show. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. See you guys.
Peace.
We OG. Oh no, You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Merlin, I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.